Hi, this is Dodger, and you're watching my show. So it's the weekend again, which means that I get to clean more of my room, which is exciting for me because it needs it. Hopefully your weekends are going great so far. Let's do some gaming news. So the 3DS box for Dead or Alive Dimensions has caused a little bit of a stir because people are saying, oh my gosh, ESRB is making them change the cover for America. There's a very slight difference. You'll see that on the Japanese version you see a little bit more thigh. Is that fair to say? Now, a rumor was starting to spread that the ESRB was like, no, if this is going to be in America, you gotta get rid of that thigh. Tecmo Koei has come out to say, nope, that's not true. ESRB never said a thing about it. They just figured that it could possibly be an issue. Internal and external people who were looking at the cover were saying, you know, maybe just so that we don't even have this problem, let's just change it a little bit. It's not a big deal, and it really doesn't affect how epic the cover looks. So they did it, and now it's blown up into this big thing. I understand taking precautions in order to make sure that people don't make a big deal out of something, and I think that it's probably super frustrating that people are making a huge deal out of something now. I just like knowing that the ESRB was not involved at all, and I also like knowing that Tecmo Koei was saying that if it had affected the look and the feel of the cover, they wouldn't have changed it. They would have said, okay, well, we'll just wait and see if it becomes an issue. But because they knew that it wasn't gonna be a big deal in terms of the aesthetics, they changed it so that they could avoid all of this drama. Never underestimate the ability of the American public to make drama out of everything. So many of you probably know who the Weinstein Company is, the people who made Hellraiser and Scream and Children of the Corn and all sorts of great horror movies that we love. They're now going ahead and fist-bumping beefy media so that they can make video games, which is pretty cool because none of those movies have ever been exploited as a video game before. I don't think. I should probably check that before I make that claim. They may not be making video games based off of movies that they've already made, but they definitely want to make horror video games. There was a Hellraiser game for the NES, I remember that now. Anywho. The thing that gets me is that they're saying that they really want to make sure that they're focusing on mobile games and social games. I like to imagine some sort of a really awkward Children of the Corn game on my phone. Like, I'm not really, what even is this? Or actually the one that I read that I think is really funny is the idea of a Hellraiser Farmville game in which you harvest souls. But TWC doesn't only do horror movies. I mean, they also have Inglourious Bastards and The King's Speech, like pretty epic movies as well. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what sort of games they're actively pushing out, but I know that they did mention that they want to focus on horror games. So those of you in the UK that were really excited about the O2 Xperia play are going to have to wait a little while because apparently there are bugs in the software. You know what I found out the other day that I'm sure many of you know, and I'm just going to tell you anyway? Do you guys know that the reason that they're called bugs is because when computers were like huge, at one point there was a huge computer that they had made and a moth flew into the computer and short-circuited the whole thing. So funny. It's a great story. It's supposed to be the world's first PlayStation certified smartphone, so they're trying to fix it as quickly as they can. They just realized that the bugs that have come up after playing the game constantly to make sure that everything's working right, they realized that the bugs are big enough that they shouldn't just, like, ship them out and then be like, oh, we'll fix them later. But good for them, not pulling an Apple and sending out their product and then being like, no, we'll fix it later. It's not a big deal. Shh, you're so pretty. It's weird. There's, like, so much stuff coming out now. Like, I have so many friends who are really excited to get their 3DS. And, I haven't bought one because the launch games aren't supposed to be all that great. But honestly, if I were to buy it right now, it'd just be so that I could mess with the augmented reality stuff, like, until I died. It's just so cool. If you haven't seen videos of the augmented reality stuff, so cool. So cool. Yeah, I love it. Anywho, as for today, that is my show. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have a positive or negative response to anything that I said today, you should go ahead and leave it as a comment or a video response because they're fun for me. And if you would like to have coffee with me and hear me ramble about something totally ridiculous, you can go ahead and click here. It will take you to my other channel. But otherwise, I will talk to you guys again in the next couple of days. And I'm hoping to put out my my t-shirt tutorial, my convention shirt resizing tutorial, because a lot of people have asked for it, so that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, have a great weekend. Okay, bye-bye.